Hi everyone,
Mr. and Mrs. Traveler here.
ElleKosGlam.
All right, everybody. So welcome. So glad that you could join us. And if you would, please like, share, and if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button.
And make sure if you're ready to set sail or you want to go to a resort because you need to get out the house from quarantine, you're waiting to get out, call us at 877-697-4470 or we can be reached at www.mr-traveler.com.
All right, everybody. So let's get right to it. Let's have a little chit chat about Royal Caribbean today.
Yes.
And this is like, you really like dessert, but you can't have none. You have your favorite food, but you can't get it. That's what this is really like.
Yes.
So we really want to travel. We know you really want to travel. So, everybody's talking about the different cruise lines and things to do and what do we think this is going to happen, because we're just also anxious to get back to some kind of normalcy and we want to go back to cruising.
Yes. So what we're going to talk about today is Royal Caribbean's plan for returning back to service, what their laser focus on, and what we have to look forward to as anxious cruisers.
Right. So right now, Royal Caribbean's plan is to return to service on June the 12th.
Yes, that's the hopeful date that we hope that we will sail again.
So, that's ahead of a lot of the other cruise lines, and I don't know what you think about it. Let's talk.
I have my notes here because we did on our last video Carnival, so now we're talking about Royal this time. So if you haven't watched it, make sure you click here to watch. So Royal Caribbean's goal in their plan is to make sure they keep their passengers safe. They went over some protocols and some plans today. They have goals that they want to keep resuming operations for, and they want to try to get the majority of the fleet out on June 12th, as Mr. Traveler said. The line said that they are laser focused. In addition to safety enhancements for their return service, they released a look at their efforts in this big giant undertaking. Royal Caribbean is very big and they have some of the largest ships in the world. I think the largest, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, Oasis class ships are the biggest.
Okay, so they developing a screening process as well as onboard health protocols to help them with this planning process. The medical team is working on board and they're also working with various government health authorities so they can roll this plan out to us.
And also one of the things that the cruise line wanted to clarify, some of the things that got leaked out there or potentially they were thinking about was they haven't made decisions on these older cruisers yet. Before we had heard some things that came out, the older cruisers were going to require some type of screening or some note from the doctor that they were healthy and were able to travel. So that sounds like it's been taken off the table.
It sounds like they're not sticking to that. The assumption has been made that would happen. So there are some elderly people who are very upset and very frightened and thinking if they have a pre-existing condition they can't sail, but that's not true or Royal yet.
And I can understand that because I want you to really think about this. I mean, there's a lot of people that go well into their 60s before they retire, 65 years old, whatever the case may be. So they're trying to enjoy their retirement years. I mean, so you say at 70, oh, you can't cruise anymore. Man, they're
pretty upset about it because that's what they do. That's the easiest way for someone who's elderly to vacation or to cruise, and it's hobbies of a lot of people. Comment below and let us know what you think about that. There's also going to be some enhancement sanitations processes that will occur in high traffic areas aboard the ship. That will be happening.
Right, so that's something that we talked about before where we talked about the foggers on a previous video and the sanitation. And when Mr. Traveler mentioned that on a previous video, I already I knew in my heart that's the way to go for cleaning the theaters, cleaning the restaurants, different venues where there's a lot of people gathering. It seems like it's a really great way to do it. And it seems like I think the airlines are adopting that as well.
Yes, they are. Actually, we have a video on it, but I just wanted to go over what would be the process before we go ahead and show you this video. It's very interesting, the process that the airlines will be using and the cruise lines, but the cruise lines will be adapting this process that the airlines already use.
Okay.
So every night it's called an electrostatic disinfectant sprayer or fogger. It will be deployed in public public areas, restrooms, and these devices will spray clean solutions in static charge mist so that the disperse evenly adheres to all types of services and disinfect them. Other travel companies are using them right now, including hotels, like I said, airlines. They have already adapted to this technology, so I don't even know why cruise lines haven't already adapted to it. A demonstration will be right here.
Well, I think part of the reason why they haven't potentially did this before is because the cruise lines were already very clean places.
We did it behind the scenes, and I work in surgery. These cruise lines are clean as a OR room. I'm telling you, the kitchens are spick and span spotless.
I mean, for the most part, I mean, cruise ships were very, very clean, and they've gotten a really bad rap.
They really
from
have.
This whole thing. You know, who saw this coming? No real preparations for this type of thing. Obviously, not only the cruise lines probably could have done some things differently, but so could the airlines, hotels, people's places of employment, wherever. You know, this was a learning process, and this is something, God willing, we never have to go through in our lifetime again. If we do, I think that we'll be better prepared for it and, you know what to do. So yeah, were some mistakes made on there? Yeah. But in whole, the cruise lines are very clean places.
Yes, they are. Additional medical staff will be deployed on each ship. Complimentary medical consultations will be offered during sailing.
Yeah, there you go.
So they're going to be free. If you feel sick, you can go right down to the little hospitals or any medical staff that they have on board, and you can be seen for absolutely free. Now, we're not talking about going down for a headache or you feel seasick or anything like that, because it's very expensive to see a doctor on the ship.
Yes, it is.
Yes, so we want to make sure you have a complete illness and you're sure about being sick on there before you see a doctor. So I thought offering a complimentary service was absolutely amazing.
And I think you'll see that duplicated on other cruise lines.
So the processes and procedure outlined should help put everybody at ease when you're going back to sail. Royal Caribbean is definitely taking into consideration the health and sanitation needs, which is very, very serious as they prepare for returning to cruising.
What do you guys think? We'd like to hear your comments below. It's supposed to return June the 12th is the date. So a couple of schools of thought. I love the statement on Royal Caribbean. They said they're laser focused to get back to service. They're ready to do this thing. You know, but if you look at it, it is vague. They're making a lot of steps to get to a sailing time to be able to actually get out there and sail. A couple things concern me is the, you know, getting crew back on board, or, you know, because they're still going through some of those things that other cruise lines are going through, getting people back home and then getting people back on. When you're talking about the largest ships in the world.
Yes.
You know, so it, you know, we'll see. And also the CEO, Richard Fain, who is over all the Royal Caribbean brands, you know, he had a statement, and it was very similar in nature, right? Very positive, very upbeat, but it kind of, you know, read between the lines. If we don't feel safe, we're not going. I mean, if you kind of read between the lines on there. So I don't know. So my thoughts on it. Are they going June the 12th? I'm leaning.
I think so.
You think so? I'm leaning more towards they're not.
Comment below and let us know if you think Royal will be selling on June 12th.
So we're split decision here. I kind of lean towards they're not. Think that we'll see an extension. I really hope we don't see a full-on extension like we've seen with the other cruise lines all the way to August. I hope maybe it's just a month. Extended for a month into, or, you know, maybe the first week in July. You know, that would be good. Maybe they can get some things happening, and then I'd like to see them get out there before the other cruise lines and get things rolling. And I think that's what they're trying to do, but of course they're trying to do it. They've got to do it safely.
I agree. I want to make sure they cover all their bases before we sell it again. That we want to make sure we is safe. That is the number one thing that everybody wants to be when they're on board. So I don't think we should sell until we're safe, but I think Royal Caribbean will definitely have their plan together by June 12th.
Yeah, this is just one of those things, you know, we're just kind of sitting here, hey, I hope, I wish I could with you guys.
That's,
you know, we're like, hope they get back there, we're ready to get back to normal. I know I've talked to so many of you out there that's like, oh, I want to sail, when should we do this and that, you know. So I'm hopeful. I don't think they're going June 12th. Miss Travis thinks she does. I hope you're right.
Make sure you comment below and let us know how you feel about it. Thank you so much for watching today. We appreciate each and every one of you, and thumbs up if you love videos like this. We can do some more chats.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching.
Life's short. Have fun. See the world. Bye, guys. Bye, everyone.